Hey everyone, and welcome to the Stories of Weird Live, the video podcast where weird people give weird commentary about weird things. I'm your host, Weston, joined by your lovely co-hosts, Victoria and Corey. Now, in today's episode, we'll be talking about a nut record breaker, marijuana pizza, and an elephant hero. I'm not sure if that's the best way of putting it, but that's what we're going to call it, an elephant hero.
All three of those sound like a Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I seriously, he's probably got one of my favorite laughs. I love his laugh.
Right? He's adorable.
Just
for a big stoner guy, but he's adorable.
That's true. That's true. And so, if you guys are here for one of those three stories and you just want to jump right to it, if you go to these annotations on this side, you can jump directly to that story and start listening about what it has to do with. But with that, we'll get into our stories right now. So I will start us off with the nut record breaker, and I'm gonna call the story "Dude, That's Nuts."
Cute.
Yeah, I try. I'm no Victoria when it comes to puns and words like that, but
the world doesn't need more of me. It's okay.
Couldn't call it "Ow my nuts."
Ow my nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're his nuts. I think there might be somebody else's nuts. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I'm just gonna start talking about the story.
I was gonna say it could have been worse. Corey could have gone with nuts to the face, like.
Ooh.
Yep.
So.
Even though that is kind of what happens, as you'll find out. Well, let me just talk about it. So, first of all, let me just say that if you've watched any of our older episodes, you may know that I am totally into record breaking, so the Guinness Book of World Records and all that stuff, because I just find it amazing, the dedication and perseverance that a lot of people put into, doing all of those
usually, like, the
things.
worst possible things.
There's some pretty random, pointless things. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
like
gonna
the
lie.
only reason that you broke a record for something is because nobody else would in their right mind do it.
And then you find out that they broke a record that apparently there was a record for.
Yeah.
Right.
As you'll find out about this story. So anyway, I figure if you break a world record, even if it's something stupid, I mean, at least you show that you worked at it, whatever it might be. Some things are harder than others. That's,
in the book.
Exactly. So for this week, the record that was broken took place in Lahore, Pakistan, by a martial arts expert named Mohammed Rashid. Now, you would think a martial arts expert, he probably did some crazy thing about, roundhouse kicks, maybe the most roundhouse kicks in a minute, or maybe chopping bricks in half, like the most in a minute.
With his teeth.
With his teeth, exactly. That I could see that happening. You would imagine a martial arts guy just using his teeth to break bricks. But that's not quite what happened this last week. Actually, what Rashid did was at the Punjab Youth Festival, he broke the previous record of headbutting. The previous record of headbutting walnuts was 44 walnuts in a minute.
That's the worst way to find out you're allergic to walnuts.
Yeah.
And then your head just swells. Yeah.
Yeah, so the previous record was 44. Rashid broke that record by 111 more, making it 155 walnuts, headbutting in the course of a minute.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I think I could beat it.
What?
I think I could beat it.
You think you could do it?
Yeah.
I challenge you to.
I think you should do it on the podcast. You might as well. That'll be our global proof for Guinness, and then they can watch it as you're doing it.
Now,
Does
how
it
long
have
did it
to be
take, you said?
walnuts, though?
Yeah, that's the record.
Well, what if I want to do coconuts because they're so much bigger?
I'm sure there's a record for that. I want to say that there's got to be a record for that.
Most knocked out people trying to hit coconuts with their head.
Coconuts with their head.
Okay, so I think I have a picture up. Yeah, here's the picture of Rashid, and he's in the mid headbutt of these walnuts. And of course, as the best part about this is that there is actually a video out there of him doing all 155.
Yeah.
Well, some people listen to Nicolas Cage laughing for 10 minutes on YouTube, so this surprises me not at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's funny. So I watched the video, right? And he's going at it, and he's doing really good at first. I mean, he's getting every single walnut. He's breaking the whole thing with his head. But then he starts missing a couple. They kind of roll off, and some of them he misses. And by the end of it, it's all his blood, right in the forehead.
It's balsamic vinaigrette for those Waldorf salads. He's seasoning them.
Oh, there you go.
That's
so
delicious.
that actually turned out to be the dinner for everyone watching So, it works
Now,
out.
next to him, was there somebody like headbutting brownies and then they were gonna mix whatever and then somebody mixed it with their head and then baked it like while sitting on it or something? Like, or was this
Wait,
just
what?
walnuts?
It was just walnuts, but apparently this youth festival does have other weird events that they do. So I don't know. I'd have to look into it though. What other events that they're weird ones though apparently.
Yeah.
You might think. I mean, based that's one of the records that they broke.
Now,
Well, then all right.
in the video, did you see when how they had the caption underneath how the guy had said basically that Walnuts killed his father, so he was getting his revenge?
I'm so glad that I stopped before I took a drink. Because I would have lost it.
I was gonna say I don't think so. I don't
Weston's
think
all,
so.
Where was this? I
It's
missed
like
it.
I hate when I don't read captions. I knew I regret it.
Oh,
Yeah. So
walnuts killed my father.
I thought that was really interesting that somebody was dedicated enough to break this particular record, and it's a
Yeah.
kind of weird record when you think
It-
about it.
Well, I mean, it's not every day you see a guy go head bashing nuts.
That is very true.
That's gonna be on this highlight thing. I know it. It's
Remember,
gonna be a
Corey,
shirt.
you're next. You're going for what, 160 or 200? What are you thinking?
Just one over, You gotta beat the
156.
over.
So really the
He's gonna get
overachiever, I see.
155.
150.
Now, wait, how long? I know I've asked this. How long did it take him?
1 minute.
Oh my gosh.
Boom, boom, boom,
What?
boom, 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 boom.
All right,
boom.
hold on. I'm gonna do
Look
some
like
science here.
woodpecker? Jeez.
So wait,
60 seconds in a minute.
155
So
in
that's
60 seconds.
that's like
Don't even start.
it's like
I'm using math.
2 point something walnuts per second.
That's little over 2.5 walnuts
It's
per second.
There you have it. Yeah.
No wonder his head hurt. He's got like shell lodged in his frontal lobe.
It's kind of poking
You know
out. It's
he-
like a permanent
Now,
fixture.
did he even practice before this, or did he just go at it?
The articles that I
'Cause-
read didn't say. I
'Cause I was gonna
assume
say-
he practiced.
I don't think he practiced, only because why was he bleeding? He should have a walnut-sized like callus on
Callus.
his forehead, and like
That
you know
sounds
what I
really
mean?
attractive, personally. I think that would definitely get all the girls.
The guy's bashing nuts with his head. I'm pretty sure he's okay in the left department.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, and I don't think for this week. I'm not sure if we'll have enough time for our weird question. I realize I totally forgot to mention the weird question of the week. And let's see.
What's the weirdest thing you've bashed your head into?
Fair enough. That'll be our
Okay.
question.
I was kidding, but okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna go with that. I had a question lined up, but you know what? Spur of the moment. I think the genius is there. The genius is there. But the weirdest thing
Oh,
you
great.
bashed your head on in what?
Into.
Into.
Yeah, is what
Into.
that should
Okay.
say.
That is the preposition I did use. Yes.
I don't know what prepositions are, so
I know.
But yeah, so think about that. About what was the weirdest thing you bashed your head into, and we'll talk about that after the podcast. And please comment below about that answer for yourself. So since we're kind of a little more time crunched today, we're going to jump right into Corey's story, which is about pizza.
Yes. A woman says marijuana laced pizza sends boy to hospital. To be honest with you, I wasn't 100% certain on this one until I realized this kid was reenacting my childhood. He
Interesting.
started cursing, going off, talking crazy. He ran out the door, butt naked.
Are you
Ran
sure you're
down
not
the
talking about
street,
your adulthood
butt
still?
naked.
I was gonna say this was yesterday.
Well,
Man. Now, two things. One, that's scary that this is your childhood because just all I see is 10-year-old Corey running and just going, damn it, and running like. And two, Weston, when you told me this was his story, did I not say it made sense?
You did. I'm not going to even lie.
Did I not just go, okay?
Sure, I'll go with that. Yeah.
So wait, so tell me more about this pot pizza.
Pot pizza.
Well, I mean, there's not actually a whole lot to it. Basically, the grandmother had taken her kid to a Los Angeles, or her grandson to a pizza parlor in Los Angeles, and the 10-year-old had eaten the pizza, and apparently it had pot in it. He flipped out. She took him to the emergency room. They had found out afterwards what was going on. So she's filing charges against the pizza place,
Yeah.
and the pizza place says that that's basically impossible, that how it happened wasn't within their Yeah.
Well,
Basically, they think the mushrooms that they got. Oh, did
No,
I disconnect?
No, you're good. You're good. No,
Ah.
I was just gonna say that in the article I was reading about, I think I found another one referring to your story, and I guess the pizza owner was saying, "Oh, that's impossible. None of my employees smoke marijuana."
Right. That's what it does say.
Like,
And
Okay,
then,
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sure you
You're
know.
delivering pizza for a living. You're doing something on the side. Okay, you're either
well,
drinking
apparently
yourself.
It was in the mushrooms.
right.
Is where it was at. And the grandmother or the niece or something didn't eat the mushrooms. That's why they didn't have a reaction to it. The boy was the only one who had a reaction to it.
Well, who knows what else? I mean, other controllable factors. Doing the basic
Yeah.
scientific method kind of thing. Well, then these mushrooms must be the only possible thing that could have led to this boy being this way. So
Well, I'm sure they tested it. You know what I mean? I'm sure they
yeah, no,
Well, hey, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa.
weed.
John.
Papa Weed John. Okay.
just like, I just want to see a commercial where they just, anyways.
It's
but
probably an
yeah.
offset somewhere you can find in Colorado. They're just
Yeah.
the Papa Weed John.
Papa Ouija.
Yeah.
Papa Weed John. Not the rapper Papa
John.
Weed John. Papa Weed John.
I like that the first thing that they thought of was kid's high. Like, kid is high as a kite.
Yeah.
That's just cute.
Yeah. So, but I think they had a picture. They didn't show the sign of the place, but it looked like a probably family-owned sort of thing. So, or did you say chain? I thought you said chain, but I saw a picture that didn't look like a chain.
No, it's not a pizza chain. It's just it looks like a someone's small pizzeria.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
know.
Pizzeria.
So, just to go with this in that story, they're saying that the article, it says pot and pizza have allegedly crossed paths before. Duh, every stoner gets pizza. You can get that at any time.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, it's delivery because Taco Bell won't. But it says like this last Christmas that a pizza worker, an employee at this pizza restaurant in Detroit, was got a brand name candy bar and said the minute he started eating it, he felt the room start spinning, and he later tested positive for marijuana. And my whole thing is
it's
like,
everywhere.
I'm just going, that's it. It's in everything. I just had some pirate's booty. I'm lit up.
Yeah, it was
right
Captain
now.
Jack's butt.
And we're talking about people that are high, and Weston just said that, folks.
Yeah. I don't
This is the
know
guy
where
who
that
runs
came
this
from.
production company. I just want to point it out. You know what's great is I had the article up, and now I didn't see you, so now I just see you doing this, and I think I'm thinking that's what you said about Jack Sparrow's butt, and I'm just going, is it there? Are you holding it?
It's one of Victoria's
So-
favorite characters, so I had to throw.
Just the butt is my character, yeah.
Right, I mean that the butt did a great job in the Pirates series.
It did. It did.
Yeah,
But
it
I
did.
digress. So, Corey, you mentioned your childhood.
We're not going into that.
Yeah, let
But
me
no,
get my Freud book out.
Right. Have you experienced marijuana laced Italian products?
No.
Oh, the
Just,
ricotta cheese. No.
Just
No, he's
remember,
like
ripping
the
off
one time
clothes
it's not
and like
oregano.
running away naked all the time though.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
no,
know.
you haven't outgrown that.
No.
You don't.
I mean,
you
it
don't
was
have to
like,
go
what was
getting
it, like
naked.
3 or 4 weeks ago. I was in a cafe and they're just the most boring conversation. So I picked up the chair and threw it through the window, jumped out, stripped naked, and ran down the street.
Oh, it was so
Sometimes you
cute.
just need to do that. You need to just
Yeah.
let yourself go. Be natural. Be
Yeah.
natural.
No.
No.
Yeah.
It's right, Victoria.
No,
you'll
I'm
you'll
just-
need it. You will.
Oh,
One day.
yeah.
One day you're just gonna be in a store and it's like it's now. It's time.
Like,
time.
the light comes on. It's time.
And then the Velcro just comes right off. Just
the Velcro.
you are gonna
just-
be wearing Velcro because you'll know subconsciously it's time to get naked.
I'll just be like, 12 hours beforehand. I should put Velcro on. I don't know why.
I don't know why. I didn't even know I owned Velcro.
That would explain a lot.
Just
Well,
saying.
it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno, but with marijuana. Like, I don't know. It's just pizza that's laced with marijuana.
And it's in the mushrooms, right? So
Yeah, in the mushrooms. Like, really, of all the drugs you could put in a mushroom, you didn't just make them shrooms. Like,
no, that's too simple. They're gonna figure you
That's
out.
too simple, yeah. But
like
I mean,
they're expecting that.
Seriously,
the
they
only thing I wonder
are.
is like maybe it's a crossbreed, some sort of like mushroom marijuana mixture, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yes, this is my portobello leaf. It's delicious.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
It,
there you have it. You got marijuana pizza, so be careful of mushrooms in your pizza because you never know when they'll be laced.
again, it's like the one time that it wasn't really oregano. It's like, oh, I grabbed the wrong baggie.
Darn it. Some
Darn.
guy lost out on the mushrooms. He's like, "Where are my mushrooms?" He's like, "These taste
He's like-
great, but this is nothing."
These need ranch. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
I'm so hungry, and he's just going at it, you know?
Speaking of things in your home that just randomly show up.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on?
I'm gonna move us on to our next thing.
Please do.
Yeah. So this elephant, right? Okay, this elephant in India, he just straight up rampaged through a house and destroyed a whole wall, destroyed a whole door,
Was he pissed?
and then he. I guess it's just he
well,
found
screw
out
this house.
right. Screw this house in particular. Just I hate this one.
I hate that roof. It's been there forever. They need to fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the article talks of Deepak Mahato and his wife Lalita, and they were living in their little. They live in the West Bengal Purulia district. It's a little India village, and they were just minding their own business, eating dinner around 8 p.m. that night, when they heard this huge cracking sound and crashing noises coming from their bedroom across the house. So they go running over, and they're like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And they just run over, and the Deepak, he just goes, yeah, he's like, we stood there and just there's an elephant in the room, literally. And he says there's debris everywhere, and that's
Right.
when they both panic because they have a 10-month-old daughter that sleeps in that room. So they freak out. They're frozen because there's this huge elephant. He's just angry, like his tusks had stuff on him and debris everywhere.
Right,
And the
right.
elephant's turning around to just leave because he was doing, I guess, a drive-by housing or something. And
You're on the wrong
he
side of the
turns
road.
around, right? He turns around and the baby starts crying. So the baby's alive, but hidden under all this debris.
Yeah,
And they like the parents are like, oh God, how do we get over there? Because this huge, they call it a tusker, but a huge elephant is like over our child. And then they watched as it gingerly picked up with its trunk all the debris and then got the debris off of the baby. And so basically they're like, this animal just came out of nowhere, busted into the house, heard the baby crying, and decided to save the baby. So pulled off all the debris and then walked off. And was just like, saw that the baby was safe and still making noise and walked off.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So the Mahato couple, they went and they took care, like they picked her up and they took her to the Mahato Sadar hospital. And turns out she's fine. She had a few external injuries like bruises and stuff. But she's fine. She's expected to make a full recovery. But they're just like, what is with this elephant? And
Bipolar
it turns
elephant.
out that,
That's I'm
yeah.
throwing that out there.
no, this elephant has damaged at least 17 houses. This particular one has moved 17 houses and screwed up them in all the Mathadi, Kasidi, and Goshra village areas around India. So he's like, they don't have tornadoes. So instead of twisters, they have tuskers.
Tuskers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just unexpected elephant attacks.
Maybe.
What I think...
Okay.
No, what I think is hilarious is that I come to this after I tell people on my tours about our mascot and how we had elephant races. And I'm
Right,
just going, yeah,
right.
put an elephant now. I want that guy here. We should have won 60 years ago with that.
Yeah, you kill all the
Just
other
look, oh, yeah.
elephants, and then he'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Right? I mean,
No.
just...
I got two questions. How bad
Okay.
do you think the people felt after, Operation Jumbo Drop and they just dropped out of the airplane and just landed on those people's house?
Corey, you ask the hard-hitting questions. Oh, God. Okay, question 2.
Go for it. What's your question? What's question number 2?
How do you think the guy felt after he just was like, I hate these neighbors, their baby's constantly crying, and he's like waving the elephant to go and like smash through their house?
He opens the blinds. He's all...
Yeah.
The elephant's like, with its trunk, it's all...
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out the guy sells insurance.
Yeah.
Homeowners
It's a
insurance.
scam. Oh, that'd be great. Train a monkey? No, we train elephants here.
This is a Simpsons episode waiting to happen.
Probably, if it hasn't happened
Like-
already.
Yeah,
I mean, they had a rampaging elephant. They just need to bring Stampy back. But yeah, I just, we take it for granted that we don't have really large animals running into our houses that aren't humans.
I would love
'Cause
dinosaurs. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there it's called humans driving SUVs into houses. That's about as
Yeah, that's
there's
good.
yeah, the humans drive SUVs. There's the people that come to your door and then walk in that they're huge, and you're like, did you smelled a meal? You know, I just and I poke fun at myself because that's how I go to Catherine's house. I'm like, oh, food's here, and I just barge in.
convenient.
Right? But I'd save the babies if they had any. I mean, I'd eat first, and then I'd go, oh, the baby's okay.
Just utterly destroy the kitchen, and oh, the baby.
Oh, the baby.
Oh, the
I'd be like,
baby.
oh my god, a brisket. Yeah. I just, I think it's interesting the animal kingdom because we've had a lot of weird stories about animals,
Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah.
you know, whether it's an otter giving massages or you know, an elephant making a house call and becoming a contractor in one part. You know, I bet you think he just felt that like they needed to open up and you know, see the world a little bit better. They have a baby, like they should be, you know, not confined by walls. And so this elephant just knocked it down, was like, "Psh, Indian Home Depot, son." And yeah.
Yeah, I was say maybe the elephant's cheaper than using dynamite or some sort of plastic explosives to you
That's
know.
what they should do. When they need to knock down buildings, they should just employ this little elephant, because you know what? Then the guy that smashes the walnuts
I'm
can just
just
pay
gonna
him
say.
in
I was just
peanuts.
gonna say. Yeah. Yep.
Pay him in peanuts.
Boom.
He just smashes them with his head. He got two of them. And you know what? If you need to calm down, you get that poor little elephant. You get him a pot pizza. We're all set.
There we go. There
Probably
we go.
wouldn't have
I'm
as
pretty
many
sure the
issues.
elephant union wouldn't be too happy about that.
Well, they have to get so many hours before they can even get into the union. So you know.
Right.
I
This
mean,
is true.
if they survive the demolitions, you know,
This is a fact.
you know.
Also, Indian elephants, you know, they're pretty much, they got smaller ears, so like they would have a lot more need for keeping cool because African elephants have the big ears and can fan off. But you could take a Indian elephant to a different place. That's probably why he keeps breaking down walls. Is he's like, we have no air conditioning. Poof. You
that
know,
felt
"Get
good. Oh, there's a
brace."
house there.
Yeah, probably.
Well, there you go. All right. Well,
yeah.
hey, since we're as I said, we're kind of pressed for time today, so we're gonna try to finish right on cue at the 5:30 time spot. Let's address the question that you posed, which is, what is the weirdest thing you've bashed your head into? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, run your head into, rammed
Run
it,
your
whatever.
head into. Okay. Do any of you guys have an answer right off the bat?
No, I gotta think because I might have memory loss from it.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Corey
I mean,
probably does.
I played hockey for the longest time, so I bashed my head
So
in quite a
what
bit.
didn't you run your head into?
I don't know.
Excuse me.
I mean, technically, my younger brother is actually worse than I ever was. He ran into a house. He ran into.
Oh, I didn't see that
a
there.
motorhome.
Is he an elephant?
No, he's an engineer. Close enough, I guess.
Destroying things and trying to make them better. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Trying to think of like, I think the only thing I can think of that I've actually like run into, like bashed my head into
Yeah.
was well, other people of course, but
That's always the best.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, good game.
I remember one time I was playing basketball and like I tripped, but I had like the weirdest running trip and I ran straight into a wall and just knocked myself out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Corey, I'm not gonna lie, but if I'd been there, my initial reaction when I see pratfalls like that is to lose it completely and laugh, and then I would probably have worried about you.
Yeah.
I see it happening in my head. I'm going, I would have knocked myself out laughing.
Yeah, I had a concussion for a couple days after that, you know.
Poor thing.
So let's see. I think for me, I don't think there's really anything that I don't know if I could answer the weirdest thing I've bashed my head into. I just remember because I used to have a bunk bed, and I had a really thick mattress. So I think just one morning I just remember forgetting that I was in a bunk bed and just, oh, it's time to get up. Boom. Well, I'm going back to
Oh.
sleep.
When you say that, I think of Zoolander and how every time he'd pop out of his bunk bed, like he'd hit that and go, oh, and turn around, like, and he does it every morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me.
I think the
I've
only
done
time that
that
I've
too with a ceiling fan though, up in someone's
Yeah.
bunk bed. Then I didn't know
Oh.
the ceiling fan was right there. I went, I was like, oh.
poof, poof, poof. Yeah. I've been hit in the head a bunch of times, because I was in marching band and color guard, and you don't see me coming and you're a color guard person, you always hit me in the head with your pole. But myself ramming my head into something.
Yeah.
Actually, it was recently. Catherine and I, the last time we were together, she had just got her car washed, and
Yeah.
like it's the Windex commercial. It's so clean you can't tell that it's not there. The glass, like that it's there.
Exactly.
I saw that the window was open, and I went to get out. Well, one, the door was locked because I'm stupid and I hit the lock. So I've got the lock, and I went to get out, and I was being sassy to her, and I said, so I was like, yeah, shut up, Catherine. And then I turned around and like smashed my whole face into the window, and she goes. The best part is she laughs and then she looks and she just saw like the smear from my forehead like hitting it and she goes, I just washed that. So I've got a concussion, right? And like I felt like I had a stroke. Half my face is just completely numb because she's laughing and I'm like, yeah. And so she's all, here, and she hands me this glass cleaner from Costco that like, and I'm just like, yeah, taking care of it. And she to this day will lock the door every now and then and see if I'm paying attention to my surroundings. And I've gotten better. I think I've only hit myself twice now, but it, like a couple months ago when I last saw her, just rammed right into it.
So I'm pretty certain that most people, if not everybody, has run into a sliding glass or some sort of window door.
And if you
before.
haven't, you're lying.
I have never done that, but I've walked into like pole stop signs.
Yeah.
That's
Well, and they literally
that's
make
my
you stop.
trees. That's my
Trees.
kryptonite. But I've never walked into the glass sliding doors. I've seen plenty of people do that, and I've yet to do that.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope that
Probably when I
that
was
streak
little.
continues for you then. 'Cause it's not
Yeah.
worth it. You have to clean it up, as
Oh, I
Victoria's
just
saying.
remembered. Actually, you want to know what was the best thing I smashed my head into?
The best thing, not the weirdest
best thing,
thing.
not the
but,
weirdest,
you know,
but
the
the
most
best.
awesome experience bashing my head
I
into
was
something.
up on a stool when I was about probably like 6 years old, and I slid off and smashed my head through like a double-paned window.
Oh,
And I was
oh my
completely
God.
fine, but the window wasn't.
Well, that's what's important, right? You
And I
were
remember
okay.
getting my
literally-
haircut at that time too.
You know what's funny is I feel like I just like got over a concussion because I just remembered this. You think the door was bad? My dad was getting up from his from the couch once, and so our couch was kind of sunken in.
Yeah.
He's getting up and he put his hand out, but he put his fist out just a little bit to like balance him, and he had like a loose fist. I was getting up too, and literally punched myself in the face with his hand. And like I went poof, and I just dropped like a rock. And
Oh,
he's
wow.
just there to go. He just looks at me and goes, "Did you really do that?" And I'm like, yeah, and like you know that when you feel like your nose is bleeding, it's not, but it's just because all like
yeah.
and I'm just like, am I bleeding? He goes, no, and he says, but that's okay, your DNA does not need to be passed to anybody. So he's like, you're so stupid.
Hey, so real quick, we got a quick shout out to Jay Hit 'em Up 95. He just wanted to say that he walked into a steel pipe. So Corey, he sounds like he's along your lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
The pipes, the poles, those vertical things that are just in your way.
Yeah, I've broken glasses walking into poles.
Oh, poles are dangerous.
Yeah. They are.
And they don't tell you that in school. You just have to figure it
They
out
don't
on
tell
your
you
own.
that in school. They don't tell you that they're dangerous, and they don't teach you how to dance on them. So
Well,
sorry, Corey.
Are there schools for that?
I said, yeah, but public school. Well, depending.
I don't know.
Mine could have.
Yeah.
Remember, it depends on what district you're in.
Well.
Well, you know. Anyway, unfortunately, we are actually out of time tonight. Actually, I'm about to head to a YouTube. YouTube actually has a studio in LA, and they provide workshops for content creators like us. And I'm going to learn some cool stuff and be able to implement that in the channel, and you'll see the changes as time goes on. So thanks again, guys, of course, for watching.
Yeah.
Oh, and really quick, I wanted to let you guys know that our audio version of this podcast is now on iTunes.
We're legit.
Yeah.
It's for free.
It is for
but
free.
we're legit.
So if you need to go out and like you're just driving or something and you don't have time to watch the podcast or the highlights, which I'll be uploading regularly, then hit us up on iTunes, type in Ian Productions or the Stories of Weird, and you can subscribe for free and catch up with everything that way. So I want to just make sure it's out there and offered in any different form for depending on how you consume media. So yeah,
Exactly.
so I think that's
Like pizza.
I was about to say that.
like media pizza.
Media
Like
pizza.
media pizza.
Hot
All right,
and
guys.
ready and high as hell.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
watching. We'll be going live, of course, next Thursday at 5 p.m. PST, so we hope that you will join us for that. And, anything you guys would like to mention before we close?
Not much. Just I'm really glad about the iTunes thing. That's cool.
Right? It's awesome.
Right? It's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time, and stay weird.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.